What's up, everybody? Scrub Omega here. Today I have a Dartz character deck profile. Uh, I went on Etsy and bought the cards that were needed, as most of his cards do not exist in the actual card game. Uh, so first up, we have the Great Leviathan. Uh, he didn't actually play a card of the Great Leviathan, but it was his whole thing. This card can only be special summoned by attributing 3 Orichalcos monsters on your field and 1 Orichalcos field spell. The summon of this card cannot be negated. This card is unaffected by monster effects, spell, or trap cards. When this card is summoned, destroy all cards your opponent controls and discard their entire hand. Then inflict 500 damage for each card that was destroyed and discarded by this effect. Then we have 3 copies of the Divine Serpent Ge, or Gi, I don't remember exactly how it's pronounced. This is an actual card, so you guys should know what it does by now. Then we have 3 copies of Orichalcos Cutora. This card cannot be normal summon or set. This card can only be special summoned from your hand by paying 500 life points. While this card is face up on the field, all battle damage you take becomes 0. When this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Orichalcos Shuneros, Orichalcos Dexia, and Orichalcos Aristeros from your hand or deck. Speaking of which, here is Orichalcos Shuneros. I went with the version that came with this Dartz structure deck because the actual one is not playable within this deck, as it needs normal monsters and he doesn't play any. So this one, the fake version, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned. This card cannot be special summoned except by the effect of Orichalcos Cutora. This card's original attack is equal to the total amount of battle damage reduced to 0 by the effect of Orichalcos Cutora that summoned this card. If this card battles an opponent's monster after damage calculation, it loses attack equal to either that attack position monster's attack or that defense position monster's defense, depending on its battle position. When this card is destroyed while its attack is 0, special summon 1 Divine Serpent Ge. So then we have the Orichalcos Dexia. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except with Orichalcos Cutora. When this card battles with your opponent's monster, the attack of this card becomes equal to either that attack position monster's attack or that defense position monster's defense. Plus 300. Okay. During the damage step only. After damage calculation, 1 Orichalcos Shuneros you control loses attack equal to the attack of this card had during the damage step. When Orichalcos Shuneros is removed from the field, destroy this card. Then we have Orichalcos Aristeros. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except with Orichalcos Cutora. When this card is selected as an attack target, the defense of this card becomes equal to the attack of the attacking monster plus 300 during the damage step only. After damage calculation, 1 Orichalcos Shuneros you control loses attack equal to the defense of this card had during the damage step. When Orichalcos Shuneros is removed from the field, destroy this card. Then we have 3 copies of Orichalcos Gygas. When this card is destroyed, you can special summon it immediately. If you activate this card effect during your opponent's turn, skip your next draw phase. This card gains 500 attack times the number of times it was special summoned by its own effect. Then 3 copies of Orichalcos Malevolence. Once per turn, you can switch a defense position monster your opponent controls to attack position. Then we have 3 copies of Time Eater, actual card. Then we have 3 Mirror Knight Calling. A lot of text here. This card can only be ritual summoned with the ritual spell card Orichalco's Mirror. When this card is ritual summoned, special summon 4 Mirror Knight tokens, Warrior type, Dark, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense, with 1 shield counter on each. While this card is face up on the field, once per turn, place 1 shield counter, max 1, on Mirror Knight token without shield counters. When a Mirror Knight token with a shield counter batters an opponent's monster, its attack is equal to that of the monster it's battling. If a Mirror Knight token with a shield counter would be destroyed, remove its shield counter instead. Then, because the whole deck revolves around it, we are playing 3 copies of the Seal of Orichalcos. I am using the actual version, not the version that came with the deck. The deck only came with 1 anyways, which, yeah, you get like an extra set of monsters or whatever that it had in the show, but the actual version doesn't do that. Then we have an Orichalcos Deuteros. Activate only if you control a face-up the Seal of Orichalcos. Send it from your side of the field to the graveyard. You cannot activate this card during the same turn you activate the Seal of Orichalcos. While face-up on the field, this card's name is also treated as the Seal of Orichalcos, and it gains the effects of the Seal of Orichalcos. During your main phase 1, gain 500 life points for each monster you control. If your opponent attacks you directly, you contribute 1 monster for the attacking monster. Then we have Orichalcos Tritos. Activate only if you control a face-up Orichalcos Deuteros. Send it from your side of the field to the graveyard. You cannot activate this card during the same turn you activate Orichalcos Deuteros. Deuteros, yeah. While face up on the field, this card's name is also treated as the Seal of Orichalcos, and it gains the effects of the Seal of Orichalcos and Orichalcos Deuteros. If a monster you control would be affected by the effect of an opponent's spell or trap card, you can negate the effect and destroy that card. Then we have 3 copies of Impact Revive. Activate only during your main phase 2. Select and special summon 1 monster from either player's graveyard that was destroyed by battle this turn. Ignoring the summoning conditions, it gains fire and attack. You can conduct another battle phase this turn. Then we have 3 copies of Orichalcos Mirror, which is used to ritual summon Mirror Knight Calling. Typical ritual card. Then we have 3 Twin Bow Centaur. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card's effect. Once a turn during your main phase 1, you can select 1 monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls. Then toss a coin. If you call it right, banish the monster your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster. If you call it wrong, banish the monster you control and take damage equal to the original attack of that monster. Then 3 copies of Martyr Curse. Activate only during the battle phase. Select 1 face-up monster you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Those monsters must battle this turn. If your opponent's monster is an effect monster, negate its effects till the end of the damage step. This is all 39 cards, so there was 1 card that came with the structure deck on Etsy, and I mean it fits the whole lore that happened during this season, which is Orichalcos Sword of Sealing, because you know the whole Knights of Timaeus, Irmos, and Critias. Discard 1 card. Any effects of the equipped monster are negated. Any effect that the equipped monster activates when destroyed are also negated. So that makes 40 cards. Not sure if this is going to be really good when we do character duels or bad. I'm not sure yet. We will eventually do some duels that will involve this, and I hope you guys stay tuned and that you enjoyed the video.